It's very frustrating because our flight time changed. We're now not flying into the Toronto Island Airport, but we're flying into Pearson.
It's a travel nightmare for thousands on Saturday. Air Canada flights are cancelled as 10,000 flight attendants walked off the job overnight after a string of silent demonstrations earlier this week and flights progressively cancelled as of Thursday for Air Canada. The fears of a looming strike are now a reality for travelers as negotiations between CUPE and Air Canada management failed. There was a scene of confusion at Montreal's Trudeau Airport today as disgruntled passengers with cancelled flights flooded the arrivals gate, ignoring Air Canada's request not to come to the airport if their flight was cancelled, as they stressed to find another way home.
So right now we're literally stranded in Montreal, trying to figure out the best way to get to Edmonton.
I feel very hard done by, being quite honest. I feel that I haven't been looked after by Air Canada. I feel that when I booked my flight, there was no warning. I was from Ireland. I booked my flight. I had no knowledge of any strike action pending until Wednesday.
While Air Canada made accommodations for some travelers, many were only scheduled 5 days from now on August 20th, forcing travelers to either stay on hold for hours on the phone or searching on their laptops to make their own accommodations on their own dime.
We're right now looking at via rail because waiting till Wednesday is not the best option. They said that they would only compensate for one night at a hotel, and that we would have to do a claim file to try to get any reimbursement if we're paying out of our pocket.
We were lucky that we got on a different airline to be able to get back today.
What we want is to bring our passengers back, and we want to have a tentative agreement that we can vote on. So we're hopeful that we will be back in the air with them shortly.
Vice President of the union Local 4091, Julie Potvin, told City News that years ago, they accepted a pay cut to help when the company went under bankruptcy protection, leaving them under minimum federal wage, which she says they are now addressing as some of their points during negotiations.
Obviously, the company's been talking about compensation. We've been talking about wages, the wage increase, and the unpaid work. There seems to be no way to bridge that gap at this time. So that is what I think the contentious part is.
But despite the stress and grievances, Air Canada employees saw an outpouring of support from travelers for the strike, which lasted almost a day before Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu directed the Canada Industrial Relations Board to order both parties to resolve the dispute through binding arbitration and resume operations.
They have good points that, they should be paid when they wait for in the flight. I think that's a very valid point.
Living in Canada is expensive and they need a fair wage. I support them 1,000%.
In Montreal, Corinne Boyer, City News.